close. I'm going to try to come up that hill right there.
So what do we think about the HG P402? I've had a chance to run it. I took it on some pretty hefty rocks, as you saw in the video. All in all, it worked out pretty good. It's got a nice body style to it. You can only get it in one color, which I guess silver gray isn't the worst color you could get it in. But it does have actual beadlock wheels. Not the best, but working wheels nevertheless. What I did right out of the gate is I removed the battery tray from the back of the truck and put it up front. When you're crawling, any kind of trail ride crawling, you want that weight up front rather than it being in the back. So that's the first thing I did even before I went out and gave it its first little test run. So what I had to do though is the servo's in the same spot for the steering. You remove this little box right here. See if I can get it all in the picture. You remove this little box. It's connected in with the two screws that hold on the shock post and the body mount post, and it all comes off as one unit. There's like a little plastic tab that comes off of this that the speed control and ESC and receiver, combo receiver sits on. And I took it out of the front. As you can see, I had to put a little servo extender, servo wire extender on there for the front servo, but it sat right in there nicely. Now coming up front, I had to cut this down. It won't sit flat with the steering servo sitting in there. So I took all this apart, tried to find another place to mount the servo. There is some possibilities. I'll look at that at a later date, but right now I just went ahead and put the servo back in. I cut it just short of the servo. So it's cut short just in front of the servo, and the holes line up perfectly to the shock mounts and body posts up front. Now the drawback of this is your battery no longer sits flat in the battery tray, and it does lean on the servo, but I don't so much have a problem with that. I had to put in these Velcro tabs to hold it on because obviously the battery holder no longer is going to work. And I got a blue one here that kind of goes around the front up here just to hold it in place. It did shift around a little bit, you know, slide forward and backwards. I'll work on that. But we're bringing that weight again up on that front axle on the front half of the rig is what I like. So that's what I did. You guys can choose to do what you want with it. I do have some piggyback shocks coming in for it, and that's the first thing I'm going to do is get some oil-filled shocks on this thing. It's obviously going to help with the suspension on it. These stock ones that come in, you know, you see oil on it and you think they're oil-filled, but they're not oil-filled. They're just regular spring-loaded shocks. They do okay. Again, it's a reasonable price crawler. So you are getting, you know, less expensive parts. The battery that came with it, 1500, 7.4 LiPo battery. You know, there's a couple videos out there, they say they get an hour out of it. I never got that. What I was doing, and I was crawling and I was stressing the truck. I mean, getting stuck in crevices. And you saw in the video, I got about 40 minutes, maybe 40 to 45 minutes. It's hard to say because I stopped and started a lot. And that's with no lights. That was just the mechanics of the vehicle working it. So I'm hunting around, see if I can get into a 2000, 2500 milliamp for this. I don't know if a 5000, you know, with the parts that are in it are going to work, but I thought I'd step up gradually, get a 2000, 2500. The motor seemed to work fine. The transmission is kind of nice. It's got switchable gears. You got high and low on this little switch right here, which is kind of cool. You know, I'm a trail crawler guy more than I am a zipping across the ground guy, so I just left it in low gear. I did put on the biggest sprocket that came with the parts. You could actually get 3 pinion gears, and let me look in there, and I believe it's a 30. I believe it's a 30 tooth that came with it. I think it was 28 and 30. Anyway, I put the 30 on. That slowed it down even more. Yeah, what else can I say? You know, it's an all plastic rig. You know, the on-off switch, for those guys that have them or are wondering, the on-off switch was mounted to a bracket right here. Right up here. You see a little cutout right there. It was mounted upside down, so you could just reach under the front bumper and flip your switch on and off. Well, I just ended up taking it and just running it to the back bumper or the back brace here, and I can reach up underneath and flip that switch on and off. I just have it on with black tape right now. It seemed to work fine. It's out of the way. It won't get hit by rocks or anything. So for right now, that's going to work fine for me until I get some other things done with the rig. I had to cut the front bumper because of the rocks and what I was going over. The bumper was actually coming in, and when you turn, it would hit the wheel. And you can see when you get full compression here, it's still relatively close. So I went in and cut both sides of that. Other than that, I just went out and had a good time with it, put it through its paces. It seemed to work good. I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars out of the box. It seems to do really good. It's got lots of room for upgrades. Shocks, steering linkage, your links. I don't know if you could turn it into a 4-point link. Your drive shafts, you know, could probably be upgraded. The ones that are on here seem to do really well. You know, I'm a little concerned about the plastic chassis, but it did well. It did well, and all the parts seemed to hold up really good. It was cold yesterday. It was 35 degrees when we were running it. So nothing broke. So it looks like it's going to be fairly durable. And I really don't know if I have anything more to say about it. I will do some upgrades to it, and I'll be doing videos of those. We'll just kind of go step by step. It is a pretty unique truck. You know, you can turn it into a 6-wheel rig. You just pop this cap off, and they got the setups that just ties in for a whole nother axle back here. You'd probably have to hunt around for a body, but you could turn it into a 6-wheel if you want to. But you know what? This is perfect. I've got my Honcho, SCX Honcho, which I turned into the Squatcher rig, and this is going to be a good companion to go side by side with it. Yeah, I'm pleased so far with what it's doing. So, again, thanks for watching. I hope you find these videos informative. As I learn, you learn. So, if you like them, please subscribe, comment, share. Thanks for watching.